And boom, we are live, baby. What's happening, Airborne? Thanks for being here tonight. We are seeing ICP just absolutely pump. And guys, guess what? This is going to be all about talking the price tag because we're here to get rich, right? So,
oh yeah.
What are your thoughts right now, Airborne? What are your feelings? What are your feelings?
So this has been a crazy day for me. I mean, so it's been a crazy. Watched my live stream last night with Six Figs. I had to get my windows tinted for my new car that I got today. So I wasn't paying attention. I had like an hour drive. Yeah, I had to do all that. And then I finally drove home. I wasn't checking anything. And then all of a sudden Six Figs texts me. He's like, oh yeah, you see the price action? I'm up, blah, 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 blah.
$2 million.
Yeah. So then I pull up my phone, I check my bag, and I'm like, whoa. So then it pumped. It was like 12 something. And then now I'm looking at the prices pumping as we speak. We just hit over 13. So I was just insane. I was speechless. I had to make a video tonight. If you guys haven't seen it, not to show my own video, but I made a video an hour ago just talking about everything. Like, this is crazy. It's insane.
It really is. You know, I thought that it was going to be proper to do a video on ICP tonight where we just talk about purely the price. You obviously had the same thing in mind. And so I'm going to point everyone in Crypto Airborne's direction here to go check out his video because he did a killer job on that. But folks, as you guys can see, you know what? Crypto bubbles. We're seeing ICP, baby, and this thing's just plowing through everything. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. And it's interesting, though, that the FTX token's up. Now, check this out. Check this out.
Yeah, I talked about that.
Oh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's saying my Lambo is getting paid by ICP. So, here we are, guys. This is the new format. We're trying some different things with the channel. We are talking ICP, which is up 31%. How many people we got in here right now? A cool 37? 47? All right. 47?
At least I have it on my second monitor.
Okay.
Here, so I don't know. I think it's live.
Yeah, let's see here.
It's crazy.
What do we got here for attendance? And we're going to be talking at probably like one of the highest levels. Oh, yeah, we got 47 strong in here. So thank you all for watching. And we are going to be discussing what the heck is going on with ICP because this thing is on an absolute tear. We are now ranked 19, just axed off Uniswap. Now we're coming for Shiba. That's a big deal to take Shiba. I mean, I like Shiba. I like the community and stuff like that. But, you know, it is what it is, right? So we just have to really play it cool. I'm just adjusting my mic here just so I'm not blowing everybody out of the water here. But yeah, this thing's running up the ladder. So nothing else is really doing squat right now either. I mean, you look at the last 24 hours, things are flat in the top 20, but ICP is on that rampage.
Right. It's a holiday weekend. It's New Year. Everyone's out partying Saturday night. There's low volume except for ICP.
Right.
The FTT.
You know, this has been a crazy pump here, guys. And, Airborne knows about ICP. He's been a supporter for a while now. Same with myself. I've been in this grind for 2 years. It's been a long 2-year road downwards. Finally, we're seeing some wind hit the sails. And we are starting to fly, baby. Now, I do think that right now, obviously, we're seeing some tremendous wicks up. $13, right at that $13.25 maybe. This is the Binance exchange. So, on the weekly, for everyone new that's listening, what I need you guys to understand here is that this price action is actually historic price action for the internet computer. And here's why. Here's the weekly Ichimoku cloud. we have our very first candle within the last week that has printed above this cloud. And we're just going to go, Airborne knows all about the cloud. And what we're going to do is when price action on the weekly, folks, here's Bitcoin perpetual futures. I'm going to just pull up a different chart of Bitcoin just to illustrate this at a higher level against the US dollar. No, we're going to look at Bitcoin. Let's go over to Bitfinex. They've got a little bit longer history. So what we've got here is that when you see price action start really ripping above the Ichimoku cloud, you can see that things get very bullish very quickly. And that, I believe, is what we are starting to see with ICP. And I do think that there's a lot of people really realizing its potential for the very first time. So there's some incredible things happening right now. On the weekly chart, Airborne, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but, we've been pumping now on the weekly chart for since October, mid-October.
And how many weeks straight is that? And is that is that a record? The most it's ever pumped?
Probably, yes, absolutely. You're 100% right. I don't think, that's an absolute record right now. Our RSI on the weekly is printing. 10 weeks. Yeah. And the RSI is printing 87.92. And, I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade. As far as I'm concerned, is that we could see price stay in this very overbought area for a while. And we could just see this thing kind of gangbang its way up. Right. So the one thing, when I look at technical analysis and stuff in a traditional sense, and when I am trading, obviously markets right now are not predictable to a certain extent. These one-off anomalies like ICP is always going to throw some wrenches in there. And really, the stuff they're doing is just crazy, and it's just not happening anywhere else in the cryptoverse.
And it's interesting because this is going to be the first real bull run that ICP is going to actually be a part of, because obviously we all know what happened with the launch of the coin early on with what you discovered and the perpetual futures, all that type of stuff. And now that people are discovering it, it's getting a lot of hype. People are doing their own research, talking about all the just the hype of it. It's crazy. But one thing I talked about earlier in my video is how these big crypto big influencers, nobody's really talking about it too much. And I mentioned in my video, George from Cryptos Are Us, that channel, I like that guy a lot. He's a big Sol supporter, and I watch his videos every now and then, and I look at the chats, and people always say, "Hey, check out ICP, check out ICP," and he's like, "Yeah, I don't follow that coin. I don't like it." He just mentions, but it's just crazy to think about. It's a lot of these smaller YouTube channels like you, me, Bitcoin Renegade are the ones that are actually, you do your own research. This is legit. It's legit.
Yeah, right. When you think of decentralization and cryptocurrency, you want a project that can basically hold everything on chain. That way it can never be shut down by anybody.
Yep.
And also what's really crazy is that all these other chains out there, phenomenal chains, phenomenal ecosystems, phenomenal communities, not shitting on them one bit, but they can go ahead and start to use the internet computer as more of a database in some respects. So there is something there. Thanks for also bringing up the fact with the whole FTX thing. We've got 70 strong in here right now. If you guys could hit that like button, we totally appreciate it. I am wearing this FTX Risk Management Department t-shirt, folks. And really, the one thing about it is, I was the one that discovered that FTX was out there rampaging and destroying all these ecosystems using their crooked exchange. And I have published all of my findings here through videos on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, go find them. I published them 1.5 years, 2 years ago. But this is one thing that a lot of people just don't see when they pull up the internet computer chart, especially on TradingView. Bear with me. You see this. And that's not an accurate representation of what happened. And what we really know happened here is this is the perpetual futures chart that of the FTX exchange, folks. And what you can see is that they launched a synthetic token 4 days before the Internet Computer Token launched. And this thing ripped. And in FTX, they pumped the out of this thing. And they pumped this thing up 500% before the token even launched, folks. So, I mean, it really would have launched at about like $85, somewhere in there. But FTX just messed it up. And FTX used that method on like Ronin Network and all sorts of stuff. And I went down an absolute rabbit hole for months and months and months trying to find this information. So this is huge for the IC. Now let's just check at the daily chart. Oh man.
Did it have something to do with Solana though? Because I know SBF was a big Solana supporter.
I think that what ICP brings to the table, and at that time, the idea of hosting everything on chain scared a lot of competition. And so what they tried to do was just simply drown out the Internet Computer. And then what they did was there was also a lot of bad PR that was like paid PR from like Sam Bankman, because he had to protect his assets within all his Sam coins, not picking on Solana, but it was a huge Sam coin. Actually, Solana, folks, and I like Solana. I love the ecosystem. I love the community over there. I don't like the leadership, and I'm being straightforward with you guys. And one of the reasons why is that they are still paying Alameda to this day. They are still paying Alameda Research over 570,000 Solana tokens per, guess what, per month. So Solana is actively paying Alameda Research, as I talk right now, $60 million a month at these prices. You'll hear none of your other crypto YouTubers talk about that. A lot of these guys, were paid off generously by Sam and company. But it is what it is. That happened years ago. We're looking forward, and we've got like some incredible like price action, folks. And what I really want to do is provide you guys with the highest level technical analysis that you could possibly ask for ever. And so the first thing that everybody's gonna wonder is, hey, where the hell is this price tag gonna go on this thing? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, guess what? We're here to make some money, folks. And when we're talking ICP, I've also got a banger of a video that could save your ass if you're listening to a lot of these other crypto YouTubers talk about how ICP can hit $1,000, $2,000 this next bull run. You're going to want to subscribe and watch this video that I drop tomorrow. So we got some great insight into all of that. But one of the things that I like to do here, and this isn't by any means a definitive answer to where the price action is going to go, what it's going to do. But when we look at the ICP charts, folks, and it was straight down, out of the gates, bear market, FTX, whatever. We do have an area where there was a very healthy bounce. In this range in here, the price actually lasted from about June of 2021 to like December of 2021. So it ranged for about 6 months. So there was some definite support right around this, $40 to $80 level. Great, right? And I don't know if this would be an appropriate point to place a Fibonacci extension. And the only way we're going to know is the following. And this is going to excite you guys because we could be seeing ICP rip up to like $22. And so the way we'll know this is validated, another reason why you guys need to subscribe is so that you can pay attention to this. Because if other crypto YouTubers aren't placing their Fibonacci's in the correct area, My goodness, you're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, I tried doing that on my video earlier, but I did the Fibonacci retracement from the current high that
Sure,
we have now to
sure.
like the low. But you're
Yep.
extending it a little bit higher because you're
Just
looking back farther.
just kind
So
of on a grander scale. I
yeah,
don't think that you were necessarily wrong for placing it. I'm assuming you placed it right here.
yep.
This okay. And one easy way to figure this out is, this thing came right up to the 161.8, the golden ratio, and this thing is a pumping still. So this to me, a lot of times you'll see a price hit the golden ratio, rip down to the 127 and check. That's exactly what happened. Price is still ripping. But of course, this doesn't cover us for the long term. But you were definitely accurate in my opinion, for setting it there. I'm just kind of drawing out the goalpost a little bit further up. And really, when it comes down to it, if we get some stallage at $22.93, folks, this is just the beginning. It's hard to believe that even though we're flirting with a 31% increase, right now, we're at $13.03, somewhere in there. That's crazy. You would have asked me 2 months ago if we'd be seeing these prices. No, sorry, but we are.
Yeah. And Juan Escalante in the comments made a good point, and we talk about this is the supply shock.
Oh
Will
yeah.
help it go to the moon. I tried to find like what the total supply they have left on Coinbase and stuff. I'm still gonna look
Okay.
into that for like actually tomorrow. And then I saw one tweet about it, but I don't know where they got their data from. But if anyone watching knows the
I'll
supply shot, like what is the current supply? Because apparently there's not enough supply on these exchanges for the demand.
right.
That's gonna help pump the price. Could that be what we're seeing now potentially? Maybe.
Right.
I heard yesterday people were trying to withdraw off Coinbase and they weren't letting them, or it was really slow, or there was some issue going
Right.
on.
Yeah, so that is a huge thing right now, guys. And Airborne will connect after the stream or tomorrow. Just let me know. I've got some like data explorers that I can put you in touch with, and you'll be able to figure that out. Let's see here, but yeah, there is some supply shock, and guess what, guys? It's very serious. We're seeing Binance, we're seeing Coinbase, we're seeing like crypto.com. All these exchanges are running out of ICP, and it's just nuts. And we're going to take a quick peek here at the NNS, or excuse me, at the Internet Computer Dashboard. And I'm going to bring this thing up because there is some solid points that Airborne just made. There's just not enough food to go around to let everyone eat.
That's the same thing with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Everyone's buying Bitcoin in the exchanges and putting them into their wallets,
And that's
whatever.
insane, dude. Like, so I'm gonna bring this up on the good old screen here, guys. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Internet Computer Dashboard is, it's a phenomenal resource. Let's just check out the chain key Ethereum. This thing, the Internet Computer is now controlling 525 Ethereum on the Ethereum network. So it's not bridged. It's not being held in a third-party custody. It's staying on the Ethereum network. Right now, we're seeing confidence and trust in people letting the Internet Computer control their Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. So Internet Computer is in control of 164 Bitcoin.
That's in the last 3 months. Click on all. I talked about this. If you click on all, that'll show you the total. And I did the math. I think it was like $48 million.
Look at this sharp increase. So this is all very relevant. And when we look at like the neurons tab, this is what's always interesting. So there's about a 540, don't quote me on this. There's like a 548 million supply of ICP. And there is about 48% of, or I'm sorry, a 548 million circulating supply, I believe. Or is it 458?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I think it's 458 circulating millions. It's 458 million circulating supply. I'm almost certain because, yeah.
454.
What's that?
454.
454. Okay, that's what I thought. So for argument's sake, let's just go 450. That's we'll just call it 225 million ICP in circulation. There's still value being held in the staked ICP, but there's only 225 million ICP approximately available. So, I mean, this is really going to be a problem for people trying to, figure things out. There's a lot of ICP that's circulating but not staked. So, meaning it could just be chilling in a cold wallet or something, or in the NNS, So we don't necessarily know what the actual number of ICP is that's available to the exchanges. I mean, man, I just feel like, we're definitely going to see some stuff happen. No doubt about that. But, getting back to things on this weekly, to be honest with you guys, that's the one thing you guys will never hear me BS you on this channel about my honest to God thoughts or opinions on price action. My favorite coins, I'll tell you the truth. I'm thinking, in my opinion, that price action, could possibly be a little bit too far from this Ichimoku cloud on the weekly. Not the end of the world, right? But, we're seeing kind of like a little bounce off the shoulder here on the daily chart. That makes me kind of bullish. And this is kind of what we saw over here. And then price ripped. So, price is just, it rips, it consolidates towards the cloud, and then it rips. It consolidates, and then it rips. So we could be, in my opinion, seeing, and we're going to break this down at one of the highest levels, folks, that I think that you could probably ever ask for. And the one thing that we're looking at here is the fact that there could be some Elliott wave theory to the upside here. And this would validate the points that I made about the possible sideways momentum that's needed to the side. We need to drift in to consolidate. Once we build that base, the gloves are off. Like, this is Mike Tyson's about to bite off Evander Holyfield's ear and spit that thing across the room, folks. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get real nasty. But if we see something like this happen, expect some sort of an ABC or ABCDE corrective wave. Now, I'm seeing a lot of OGs here in the chat, so let's give some shout-outs. We got Daniel Williams. We've got Trevor Elchingian, a juggernaut of this channel. Thanks, guys, for all being here. We're at 120 strong, somewhere in there right now.
Yep, let's go.
So let's keep ripping, and you guys haven't seen anything yet. Because we're about to throw up some GON fans. I know Airborne is very familiar with the GON fans and things like that. And this is the type of stuff you're going to get visiting Airborne and I YouTube channels, is because we're just real. Super.
One thing real quick,
real.
didn't last night's episode for my live stream, you talked about, I don't know if it was on the weekly or what, but it didn't print a green Ichimoku cloud yet.
So
something about not.
Yes.
You haven't seen a green Ichimoku cloud.
Right. And we are barely starting to see one right now. And thanks, Trevor, for that super chat. I truly appreciate that. But yeah, in the entire existing, great point to bring up, Airborne, because, we haven't seen this green cloud yet. And this thing's going to be like a volcanic eruption, man. We're going to see like something like this, but to the upside. So, it is what it is. But, what I'm going to do now is show you guys and really kind of talk about what is going on with this price action. We're going to see, some laws of trading that you just need to be aware of. And one of the biggest things that I always try to do for viewers that come to my channel, and that is to come to an agreement with them. And this agreement is that if you are going to give me your time to watch these videos, I want to give you some skills back so that you can be successful at trading on your own. You know, that's just kind of like my philosophy. So right now we're going to set up some GON fans in TradingView, and it's very important that you guys learn how to do this. Now, we'll just break this down because this is going to reveal some very hidden information on the charts. And Airborne knows all about the GON fans. I believe he's a fan of them. But what we need to do is throw up a 45-degree angle. And I talk about this in all my videos, folks. The markets move at 45-degree angles more than you think. It's insane at how these markets move. But the 45-degree angle, before I even started learning about GON, I was in the same impression or under the same impression as he was. And when I learned about his work, I learned that he thought he was a big fan of the 45-degree angle. So what we're going to do is we are going to throw up a 45-degree angle here, and then we're going to measure it from this wick high up here over, and then I drew this trend line right at the all-time low. So now we're going to throw up the GON fan lines. This is where things get interesting, folks. Once I get this second GON fan up, then we can go ahead and really see what's going on with the charts and how I can move it around. So what I got to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and delete some of this stuff here so it's not interfering with what we're looking at. But the one thing that I always look at when we throw up GON fans, folks, and this is very important that you do this because you need to know that your measurements that you're taking as far as the GON fans are concerned are accurate. One way to look is to check out what's happened. Now we can see that price action, and I'm just going to, I don't want to mess with this. This is off just a hair, but what we can still see is that price action really obeyed this bottom trend line like to a T. And then it obeyed this 1-to-1. I believe this is the 1-to-1 trend line here. Or is this a 2? Yeah, that's the 1-to-1. So you can see that it would not let price action rip through this. It just wouldn't, right? So price action tried again. It stalled out. And now we can see where price action ripped right up into this pocket, got rejected, and you can see it just flirted with this line here, and now it's off to the races. So there is a chance, I think, that we might even see ICP possibly rip, up into this pocket here. Ideally, what I would like to see on this daily chart, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen or anything like that, but when I look at this, folks, I'm seeing something. And what I'm seeing here is a tremendous opportunity that only you would know about if you watch this channel or Airborne's channel. Folks, and this is the possibility of a bull pennant. And if we see ICP rip up to like this $18 level and go into this consolidation range, we could see price action really rip off. And this whole next diamonds is wide open. $35, $36, something like that.
Especially with the Bitcoin ETFs getting approved potentially prior to January 10th, and Bitcoin moves, this is going to move too.
Agreed. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this is a possibility based off my observations. And Crypto Airborne makes a tremendous point. We're looking at January, folks. It's January. It's been so hot in Minnesota. It's been like 50 degrees. I'm thinking it's July. But, other scenario we get here, guys. We see price action. We see this puppy rip up, get rejected. Maybe we'll see something like this. We could also see something like a Head and Shoulders strike the price back down after trying to break through, this $15-ish level. This would be an interesting take. If we get rejected here, we might do some sideways trading and try again. I
don't want to butt in, but I got something I think a lot of people are thinking right now.
Rip it off.
So if everything's going to be bullish here, everything moves with Bitcoin, and ICP has been doing really well against Bitcoin. You can actually look that up. I was looking that up on CoinGecko. Some of the top 10. It's one of the top 10 coins that when Bitcoin's down, it's ripping, which is awesome.
Really?
But what is like the What's like a normal pattern or movement for technical analysis for a coin? Like when everything's bullish, like what would you say is a typical thing? Like what you're saying is where it kind of like it rips, it goes into like a symmetrical pattern, it consolidates, and then it keeps ripping. You know how like
Yeah.
what is a common pattern we could see here with ICP where hey, it does a massive move like this. Yeah, it's going to retrace, but it's going to be a healthy retrace. It's going to keep doing what like what's a standard typical pattern in technical analysis that you've seen in your career doing this that we could potentially see for ICP just keep ripping?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, and really what I like to see, my favorites, folks, are, you know, if we're looking at patterns that we want to see continued escalated price action, there's a few things. One of my favorite things is to see a very nice Viagra bull flag pull, right? And we see this flag happen, you know, and there's a variety of these types of things. So you could see a flag, more square in nature. You could see a symmetrical triangle. That's referred to as a pennant. Some of those are my favorite. Some of the other things that we could really get bullish on is like maybe a cup and a handle. Let's just say price action ripped like this, and we saw this. Yeah, you know, you could argue that's a cup and handle. So I'm always on the lookout for something like that. Obviously, I love seeing ascending triangles, like right here where you see a wall on the top side, and then you see the lows creeping up and up and up and up, and eventually those lows turn into gains. So those are kind of like my favorite things to really look at. And in the grand scheme of things right now, you know, we're seeing on this day, this is a 4-hour chart, by the way, folks. You know, we're seeing the RSI still has, hard to believe, it's still got some gas left in the tank.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, this thing just ripped up to 96 points, 97 points, and this thing's at 86 points right now. So if we get another very aggressive move to the upside, I do feel like we could see a little bit more pumping happen, and we'll just hopefully sideways consolidate. But kind of getting back to what I was discussing earlier, and folks, we're going to leave you with something that you need to check out. And this is going to be crazy important as far as what time frames you need to be watching out for, because we have decoded Fibonacci time sequence on this channel, and in a lot of cases,
that you read my mind.
Exactly.
The time sequence.
Exactly. And so, with that said, there's a lot of times where you'll see analysis on this channel. And this analysis will predict a reversal or increased volatility, sometimes down to the hour. Like 2 or 3 weeks out, we'll say, watch out on this time and this date, folks. And guess what? Boom. It's like a nuclear weapon goes off on the charts, and people know to come back to this channel. So that's another reason why you should subscribe, hit the bell, especially on those dates, because if you get an alert, you need to tune in to figure out what's going on. Cut action. Am I saying that right? CKUSDT. Whew. And this, guys, thank you, Cut Action, for dropping that off. And this is some serious alpha that you guys need to listen to. And we'll finish up these charts here in just a second. But, folks, what Cut Action has just said is going to be absolutely huge. And I do believe that this is going to draw in a lot of users to use a lot of dexes and things like that on the IC. Because what is, and we'll hit up Daniel R here, what is CK Eli 5, please? Okay, so let's get that out of the way here, because we got 136 right now. And so that is called chain key, just like Crypto CB just mentioned. And so basically, CK ETH, CK BTC, CK USDT, USDC, I believe they're going to have DAI, all sorts of stuff. But what this is basically going to do is chain key technology that Definity built eliminates all of like the traditional bridging and things like that, where like let's say that you are going to wrap Bitcoin for Ethereum. Okay, you would take your Bitcoin, send it to a third party who would then wrap it, take a fee or a cut, and then they would send you wrapped Ethereum that you could, or wrapped Bitcoin that you could use whoever. A lot of times what happens is, these third party custodians will get hacked to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's insane. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Airborne, but like to be able to possibly eliminate some of that and just have like these chain key transactions trusted by code and smart contracts, and the code and smart contracts will handle that stuff. To me, the code doesn't lie unless there's some sort of vulnerability and it can be exploited, which, hey, it could happen.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely a huge thing, and security is one of the biggest things nowadays with all the hacks and everything that you see going on. But going back to what Cut Action said, the ERC20 integration, that's going to be huge, because think of the ERC20 top tokens that we have out there that's going to be able to integrate with ICP, Chainlink, SHIB, Uniswap.
Right.
All that will be chain keyed through ICP. Like, that's going to bring potentially tons of more volume that'll drive up the price action. It's just it's funny, Chainlink reaction.
Yeah, it's like a Chainlink reaction. I did find a very nice article on this as well, and I dropped it in my last video, but we'll just kind of rip this off here. But especially with the CK ERC20 tokens, like being able to control all the stuff Airborne was just saying, we can look at Chainkey, Uniswap, USDT, USDC. Yep. But one thing that's nice about the internet computer, folks, is that basically the way it works is that if you go to a DEX and you want to do some trading because you are an absolute degenerate, baby, and that's where you make your money off-chain on these DEXs so the IRS can't find your ass, this is going to help you out. Okay? I feel like I need a cigarette right now or something. So the deal is, with internet computer, folks, it is a reverse gas model. So the user on a DEX pays absolutely no fees. Obviously, you're going to probably end up paying that somewhere in the spread or something like that. But this is amazing because now when you make these trades, you don't have to swap for some other volatile asset that's going to, crash down. You can swap it with USDC or USDT, take your profits, level out into a level plane. That is the biggest. I mean, man, this is going to draw in traders to the IC like nobody else's business. So there's some great stuff kind of going on.
Is there a timeline when this is going to get released, the ERC20, the CK ERC20? Do you know?
Somebody just mentioned that it could be in January.
Okay. Yeah, anyone in the comments, do you guys hear, do you know when exactly the CK ERC20 is supposed to be, I guess?
Yeah, and it's probably going to happen soon. I did see Dominic Williams. I like to refer to Dominic Williams as the Raging Cajun, the one and only, folks. Dominic Williams mention that it's coming soon, and I do think that he means soon, like by the end of January, hopefully. And
he's putting some teaser tweets out there. Dude. I don't know if you saw about him in partnerships and like institutions, like big things coming potentially with maybe like Walmart, Amazon, like not them, but just like something big with adopting ICP into their network.
Yeah.
Of like what they're using. Like they're going to get rid of AWS or whatever they're going to use and they're adopt. I think that's going to be another huge catalyst
Right.
of the next year.
Right. And
It's one of his tweets.
yeah,
I forget.
I
He was
agree.
mentioning to it. Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I love Dominic Williams, but I hate when he's out here doing this shit, man. He's out here climbing up this mountain with skis. It looks like he's going uphill. I'm like, what are you? This is a beautiful scene, but can
Yeah.
somebody just get out some duct tape and some like shipping
Where is
bubble
that?
wrap? It's in Switzerland, would be my guess. They need to like wrap this guy up in a big Michelin Man bubble wrap suit so nothing happens to him. You know what I'm saying? But he has been teasing at the the release of USDT, USD, CK USDT, CK USDT. I can't find it right now, but
Yeah.
it's out there.
I remember. Oh wait, go back up. It says our systems. Go back up. It said something. It said something about like our systems are ready to go. Just think of the big. I'm watching it delayed on my other thing. That's why.
Okay.
Up.
Yeah.
I thought I just saw it. It was something about our systems. Maybe I don't remember.
This might be it. Yeah. Anyways, they are. He is being super bullish on chain key, all that stuff. Yes, Dom. I'm looking at the chats right now.
Somebody you should get him on the channel. Have you ever reached out to him? That would be pretty awesome.
I talked to him not too long ago, and he was interested in it. So, somebody's mentioning that ICP is now at $13.45. Okay, I'm not seeing that right now. It very well could be on some exchange out there. I'm seeing some varying prices, across the 1306 on crypto bubbles, 1293. Maybe I got to 1295. Okay, it's 1285 on TradingView. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing some, depending on what exchange you are eyeing up. It is obviously wicking some of these high, lower $13-ish levels. We got 141 strong. You guys have got to check us out and subscribe. Hit that like button. If you guys can hit that like button, that would be huge. Help propel ICP in the algorithms, folks.
Yeah, we hate repeating that stuff. I hate repeating that as like a small YouTuber, but it actually helps. Like you want ICP, you guys have ICP. You want it to help spread the word. A like button goes far away. Like a share, like follow us on Twitter. Like we talk about all these all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right, 100%. Now what we're going to do here is a couple different things, and we are going to look at when we might be able to expect a possible move with ICP. And I think what we're going to do is just limit this to the day, because price action is just so volatile right now, and it might really take us a couple tries here to try to decode one of nature's mysteries known as Fibonacci. And Fibonacci is a natural sequence that occurs in the universe, folks, and it can be found anywhere, in a galaxy spiral to a snail's shell to like certain, it's absolutely insane stuff. Yeah,
I was looking that up earlier about the 1:6:18, the golden ratio, and like a person, like how good looking a person is based off the 1:6:18 golden ratio, like how symmetrical their face is. According to the Fibonacci. It's crazy. It gets deep, but I like it.
Yeah, if you start at like the center of a person's face, like you can see that spiral happen. It's nuts. But I feel like, folks, we've got a really good, solid pin here right out of the gates. We threw up a little time sequence here. And basically, for those of you that are not familiar with what Fibonacci time sequence is, really, it's a great tool to help determine when we will see reversals or like the start of volatility. Now, in a lot of cases, we won't know what happened until we can look backwards in hindsight just a little bit. But when we throw this up, bear with me 1 second here. We can see, maybe just let me reconfigure this. I want to make sure that this is perfect. Bear with me 1 second here. We're just going to...
I was messing around with that earlier too. I couldn't...
Yeah,
I know you're better at it than I am, but I was trying to just throw some time sequences on there. I couldn't really pinpoint anything.
And so it's not perfect 100% all the time, but here we are, folks. If we can guess down to the day when something is about to maybe rip off, like, that is great news. And here's a great example of this. When we throw up this swing low to swing high, within a couple days, it predicted a reversal. Within 2 days, within a couple days, it predicted a reversal point, because basically price ripped up and then it reversed and then it went down into the shitter. Now we saw within a couple days, guess what happened? Price ripped. So what you guys need to do is go into your calendars on your phones right now, or grab something to write with and type in Sunday, April 28th, 2024, Fibonacci time sequence. You need to check in with 6 Figs and Crypto Airborne on YouTube. Now, this is very interesting.
What happens a week prior to that, around that time?
April?
Yeah, that time sequence. What happened before that?
Enlighten us. Is that when
Bitcoin happening?
Oh shit!
So,
see, that's why I love having you on the channel, folks, guys. That's why I love having Airborne on the channel. He, that's clutch. I needed that clutch in this moment. So yeah,
again, it isn't exactly down to the date, but give it a week plus or minus when you're on this big of a time scale.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have macro perspective thinking that's going on? You got the Bitcoin halving. Granted, when the Bitcoin halving happens, at least according to the last couple of bull runs, usually you start to see massive price action 6 to 8 to 9 months later.
Yeah. But
around this time, you never know that when the halving happens, boom, you could either see a down or an up. You just never know.
Right. That's crazy, isn't it? We just don't know, and that's so far out there to try to, speculate on that. Here's another very interesting Fibonacci time sequence pin, and we're looking at the Bitcoin daily charts just because we kind of just mentioned Bitcoin. But within a few days, predicted a very nice reversal, and we're going to figure out what's going on with Bitcoin and what the next Fibonacci time sequence is to possibly pay attention to. I'll probably give you a couple. We hit 150 live stream. We got Strike, the heavy hitter of the YouTube channel. Strika, we love you, brother. And Strika has been around since the last bull run, and that's when I made him one of the mods of the channel. So from the land down under, he is blessing us with his law and order in the chat section. So I will be seeing you here, Strike, within the next year and a half. But we've got this swing high to swing low, predicted a very nice reversal. Again, like Airborne said, this stuff's not bulletproof. But, within a week, if we can get lucky and figure out, when, stuff's about to start flying, it's going to be great. Here, predicted a nice reversal, increased volatility. Boom, price fell out. Reversal here. This really doesn't really mean, some of the time sequence is irrelevant. Here, I'm not saying that it's kind of irrelevant, but we're looking at, May 21st, 2024 with Bitcoin. So check that out, folks. Will that be the date where we see Bitcoin possibly rip up and match all-time highs? Again, April, May, we got the halving in April. We got shit going down. So, with that said, I feel like at this point in time, I can tell you guys one thing. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, folks, and this is why you guys need to tune into this channel and Crypto Airborne's channel regularly. is that we are going to tell you the truth as we see it. We have been in this space now for a long time. My first buy on Bitcoin was 200 of them at $6, and I sold them like a fool at $7, $7.50. Airborne's been through the gauntlet in crypto, so
Yeah.
you are talking with OGs here that have just been around the block. I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff together, haven't we?
Oh yeah. Absolutely crazy
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Ups and downs, and then hopefully ups again.
Ups and downs and all arounds, I'll say that. But what we're about to do right now, folks, is probably one of the most important technical analysis that you'll see on Bitcoin probably in the last year or two. With this said, right now we're going to throw up a nice Gone fan, and I do believe we are going to see Bitcoin come right back up and touch this fan at some point. I do believe that. But you can see how markets move at that 45-degree angle. And what I'm going to do is go ahead here and draw another 45 to the downside. And let's see what we got here. And folks, also, I've got one of the most incredible videos at the end of this live stream that you're going to see. It's one of like the most talented musicians gave me permission to use as my end screen, if you want to call it that. It's sick. I haven't even told Airborne about it. So
Thanks, Peter, for the tip.
It's going to be crazy. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that, Peter Mac. All that stuff, it goes towards the channel. I don't really take anything. There's a lot of overhead. There's a lot of like memberships and subscriptions and things like that. Peter, if you got any coins that you need me to take a peek at before we sign off, I want you to let me know. I'll give you my honest
earlier
opinion.
someone mentioned in the comments, you might have missed it, ICP, your ICP address where people can tip you, so you don't get all the fees and stuff that YouTube takes.
Yeah, that's complicated. I don't want people tracking my wallet. But maybe what I could do,
a new one somewhere, right?
Maybe what I could do is have a Coinbase wallet or something set up where I could have. Yeah, thank you for that recommendation. That's something that I overthought. Yeah. So right now, we're looking at the Bitcoin futures right now. I'm a big futures trader. One thing that you'll know from me is that with my futures trading, as far as December is concerned, I had no losses at all. Doubled my entire portfolio, like 250%. It was amazing, and I was using MEXC until, unfortunately, there's been a lot of things going on with MEXC that concern me. Airborne actually was one of the first people, if not the first person, to alert me to that. Not saying that there's any problems right now. I just feel like we don't know. And if you don't know, you get your stuff off the exchange and into your own custody. It's just a trading bag for me. I would encourage everybody to keep at the highest level, folks, custody of your tokens. But right now with Bitcoin, we're seeing some very phenomenal price action obeyance of the Gone fans. And one thing I love about the Gone fans, folks, is that it really kind of opens up this picture of all these magical behind the scenes resistance and support levels that we cannot see until we draw up these vantage point, technical analysis. So with that said, we can obviously see support here, resistance here. You can definitely see some resistance here, and you can just see how price action moves like a symphony across these Gone fans, folks. And what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin is tremendous. We are seeing some absolute golden, in my opinion, golden. We are seeing some absolute golden Elliott wave theory to the upside. We're looking at the daily chart, baby. And really, this is going to be a nice little consolidation, because what we like to see, folks, is one of two things after we see an Elliott wave theory run up, folks. We like to see an ABC corrective wave, and this is in the form of a symmetrical triangle squeeze, and we might see an ABC corrective wave happen, or we might see an ABCDE corrective wave happen. So with that said, regardless, we've still got this very nice, dare I say, erect again, bull flagpole that is happening. And you could almost make the argument that it starts maybe right in here, somewhere in there. But really, when it comes down to it, I referred to this price action as a symmetrical triangle squeeze. I know this just by looking at it, but to give you guys more of a painted picture, this is kind of what we're looking at. This is a classic bull pennant. And, I think this thing's getting ready. I think, guys, Bitcoin is getting ready to rip a little bit again. And I do want to throw up some Fibonacci extensions here to see what's up as far as, support and resistance level on a horizontal plane. The one thing with the GON fans is they're kind of telling you where things are going to move in an angular motion. So let's go ahead here, throw up this. And okay. So, yeah, okay. So I was going to suggest that we could see possibly Bitcoin maybe run up to like this $45,000-$46,000 level. But I do think that there is this great opportunity, and I say this with somewhat confidence, because this Fibonacci extension that I drew up, we can see the support right in here. We can see the resistance right in here, and we can see the resistance in here, the support right here. So to me, we're seeing price action play off these very important levels. With that said, I do think that we are looking at maybe a little bit of a pullback at 46,700, but I do think that if we see a pullback there, it's going to be like a finger snap. Like, it's not going to be relevant. I would expect more of a harsher pullback at the $48,000 level, and also the $78,000. I almost said, Jesus, $57,652 level. What's interesting about this is that there is a lot of range for Bitcoin to really move in. Right in here. So we got to make sure Bitcoin can get past the $48,600-ish level before we really kind of take this any further, because there is just such a wide open range of opportunity here. Again, another reason why you guys want to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and tune in. Let's get back to ICP here.
Hey, real quick. So I was checking Twitter as you were doing the Bitcoin charts or whatever, and there was someone, fran.icp, and I sent you a DM of it on Twitter.
Okay.
We were talking about earlier about the scarcity of ICP on exchanges, and he sent something that said the Binance hot wallet only has 980,000 ICP left. Which could be one of the reasons potentially why
I see that. Yeah,
that is crazy. And I don't know where exactly he pulled the data from. If you're watching Fran.ICP, let me know.
Yeah.
But you might know. He sent me there's a picture. It shows kind of like a diagram of like where it all goes.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can see this, because
I definitely retweeted it. That's some good stuff. Like, that's the data we want to know about. That's nothing, man.
Yeah.
On Binance hot wallet, 980,000 ICP left on the exchange.
And that's why I bring Airborne in on these shows. He's finding stuff out like this live, folks. And so credit to Airborne for sniping that out. And folks, big shout out to @FranHefner. Follow this guy on Twitter @FranHefner. He is doing some OG stuff here. He's tracking Binance's wallet. This is huge. Now, he's saying the Binance hot wallet, folks, balance 980,000. This is less than $1 million. Gives the address, full transparency. And this is very interesting. I mean, at these prices, 980,000, I feel like you could see, the this ICP drain out pretty quick. You know, people
Yeah.
are going to be dropping $1,000 a crack. You know, and you know that adds up quick around the world. So yeah, great find, Airborne.
Coinbase, Fran, if you're watching, I want to know Coinbase's. If we can somehow
Okay,
pull up Coinbase's, I don't know. That would be pretty good.
Coinbase, yes, that would be very interesting. I'm just looking at my Twitter, and it's like blowing up.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it's been crazy.
Great stream.
Tonight.
Appreciate everyone tuning in tonight, man.
Yeah, this
Everyone
is crazy.
smash that thumbs up button, man.
Yeah, we've got only we got 155 people in here, and we got 7 likes on the video, folks. Jesus, Louise. I'm just kidding. We need some likes on the video. Somebody, I'm trying to look at what you guys are talking about in the chat.
Yeah, they're talking about Las Vegas Convention Center is waiting for ICP event. I don't know what that means. Is ICP community in Las Vegas? Oh, is there one?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
I'm
not
sure.
that I know of. I mean, it's going to be very small, probably. You know, probably a few hundred people, maybe.
So talking about the ICP hubs and stuff, I know there's an ICP hub North America. What's the largest one in the United States that you know of? I don't know.
Probably the North American one.
There isn't any specific like states or any like big groups on Twitter. Or, does anyone listening right now or tuning in know of any United States big ICP groups in certain cities?
Yeah. So the deal with like the ICP hubs is like as far as like the United States is concerned, there was a little bit of kind of proceed with caution for deploying hubs in the United States just because of like the Security and Exchange Commission, things like that. Okay. And they're all, they tried to sue Dfinity. Right. So, I mean, with that said, it was kind of like one of those things where,
gotcha.
It is what it is. So we've got Vayrak. There are 133 likes.
Oh,
sweet. So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and you guys are absolutely killing it. Now, also, you guys, I am going to be dropping a video in Airborne. When it comes down to the price of ICP, I see a lot of these YouTubers out there, not me, but they are trying to beat this into people's head that during this next bull run, we're going to see $1,000, $2,000 ICP. I did a video tonight before we came on, or you came on, and I'm trying to figure out if it's possible for ICP to hit $500. Mm-hmm. And so I will be dropping this video tomorrow. And I get out the calculator, folks, and I start crunching some numbers. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to surprise you. So I don't want to give away the video because there is a lot of great information that is like going like to be presented. So with that said, it is what it is. We got a lot of people here in the chats. We're running hot. What do we got? About an hour and 5 minutes. I know Airborne's got some movies to catch up with on the wifey, so he's gonna be in the doghouse tonight.
At this point, I think she's sleeping, so we can keep going. If you want to keep going, let's do it. We got 154 strong.
Okay, so how about this? Do you want to let me know in the chat, guys, if you want to see some degen plays that like we're involved with, maybe some coins that you want to shill in the chat, maybe you holding some other tokens that you want to see the charts on, just start absolutely polluting the chat comment section and I'll try to get to them. We got
Rock Acid said, "Good morning, Six Fibonacci." I like that one.
6 Fibonacci. Yeah, that was on the last stream, you know.
I saw that, dude.
Somebody
That was
came up with that. I think
That
it
is
might have been Rock
legit.
Acid or somebody did. And I told everybody,
Fibonacci.
I've got to be very careful when I say that because it sounds crazy. But 6 Fig
Fibonacci.
Okay. All right, so we got some degenerates here. One of the moderators here is saying, "Can we check up on WMT?" And that is, folks, a coin that we are going to check out here, and we'll just do some quick. Obviously, it's not Walmart. Crypto World Mobile Token, and what do we look at?
Oh, that's Cardano. That's under Cardano, I think.
Is it?
World.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Cardano token, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not really too familiar with the Cardano ecosystem. I know they got a great community, all that stuff. This
that was my last bull run coin that I held.
Oh, it was okay.
Maybe a lot. Yeah, WMT, right?
Yep, you did very well last bull run.
Yeah, that's Cardano. Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, so right here, the first thing that I'm looking at is this potential to maybe see an inverse head and shoulders on, I keep wanting to call it Walmart token, but it's World Token. I don't know any World Mobile Token, and folks, I don't know anything about the tokenomics. I don't know nothing.
It's like a World Mobile Token connecting the world, disrupts. It's something with like the mobile network. World Mobile customers pay for calls, texts, data using local currency.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some type of like mobile networking thing that not Charles, but like they're starting to do in Africa.
Okay. Hey, that's awesome. If you if you can bring that stuff to like Africa and get people connected over there, that allows them to ape into crypto and like get involved because they might be able to get some internet connections, things like that. But right now, World Token really is at this very fine line. You can see a lot of resistance here. We broke above. It's coming down to test support now. So if you see this thing trading down below like the 13-cent level, maybe get a little worried, but not too much. I would love to see this stay above this 15-cent level, but I would ideally like to see a head and shoulders pattern like this, inverse head and shoulders, play out. And this could also be construed as a cup and handle that happens. What else we got here? We've got 6 figs about to become 7 figs thanks to ICP. Oh,
that's right. That's crazy, man.
I'll be 6 figs for a while. I don't know. I got a bag of ICP. I don't know if it'll propel me to a milli. Because I got into ICP, guys, when it was like $20, things like that, $25, and I've been riding it down to $3. So yeah, we've got also here's one that I've been kind of trading, and this is a total degen crypto. This is very high risk. Expect to lose your money if you look at Syncus. And I told Airborne about Syncus when this thing first launched at about 0.0034 cents, somewhere right in here. And then this thing ripped up. And then I told Airborne about Syncus again back when it was down here. And then it ripped up. But now it's kind of trading back downwards. This is a degen play, folks, that I'm in. Wouldn't recommend you get into it. But if you're, this is only available on Uniswap. But there is very high risk, a very high reward. This is an absolute Ponzi tokenomics, meaning you buy in, if you want to sell, you're going to take a 15% haircut on your sell orders. So this is one of those things. We'll see how long this house of cards lasts, and it's going to get interesting. What do you know about dead bodies and freezing people, Airborne?
Something I've always really been into. Not literally,
really?
but like no, but I'm into like conspiracies and stuff, and like learning about like if you were to freeze your body and all that type of stuff, how you can like extract genetics and all that crazy stuff. I always
Yeah.
thought that was something pretty cool.
Yeah. I agree. And this is going along the same lines as one of the last like degen plays, like not financial advice. This is high risk, expect to lose your money types of plays. But sometimes, when you become like this venture capitalist that takes the risks, like you see some crazy rewards happen. And one of the other projects that I've been kind of looking into, and I dropped like a quarter ETH on this. So I think I hold like 500 tokens. This thing launches in like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
CryoDAO. So my thoughts are on this, folks, is that if this isn't a complete scam, I treat all this stuff as if it is a complete scam and I'm going to lose my money. So with that said, I don't go all in. I put a small bag. A quarter ETH is
you got
to
me
me
into it.
a
I did
very
the same
little.
thing.
Yeah, to me a quarter ETH is a very little amount of money. It's a lot of money to a lot of people, and I'm not saying
Never
like
invest more than you could afford to lose.
exactly. And on these
a couple
types of
$100 here and there for me, I could afford to lose it. But hey,
exactly,
potential high return reward for this.
This is like a lotto ticket, basically. But there is some prominent people following this, Blockchain Boy, for example. But my take on this project is that my guess is probably going to launch to like Uniswap or something like that out of the gates. My guess on this project, though, is like you get into the mindset of like crypto bros, right? The media hates. Oh, we got Jordan Mack in the house. The Mac Daddy, baby. We'll talk about Jordan Mack here in just a second. But the interesting part about this play is that the news media loves to report on the crazy madness that goes on within cryptocurrency and all that stuff. So, when we're talking about like a project that wants to involve cryptocurrency, that wants to allow crypto bros to control a DAO, to control a dead person's basically frozen body, like that's a recipe for news media to just be like, whoa, blah blah blah, and they're gonna spew that out there, and the potential for a mass migration of purchases to a token like this, possibly could happen. Obviously, this isn't guaranteed. This is a very crazy, crazy, crazy speculative move. So, it's very degenerate. Jordan Mack. If you guys don't know Jordan Mack, you got to follow Jordan Mack. He is one of the brightest crypto engineers, software engineers that I have ever met. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Jordan twice. And he is a senior software engineer at a crypto project. So we're not going to put that on blast here because I don't know if he wants that. But he is a very talented cryptographer. Very well respected in this space. And he is asking about Woo. What do you know about Woo? Woo! Is it Ric Flair's coin?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what? Ric Flair? Or is that maybe legit?
Is that
legit? Or is he trying to troll us?
I don't know. But it looks like it's up, folks. And it looks like this thing's gangbanging
I gotta look into this
to the upside.
This.
Woo!
Woo!
So, yeah, this thing's looking good. I mean, this thing recently has seen a very nice pump, like a lot of projects. And I do think that we are not going to see the end of Woo pump. So with that said, I do think that Jordan Mack's bags are going to go woo from here on out. And really, when it comes down to it, I do believe that we are seeing a very fine Elliott wave theory move to the upside. And this could be already 0.5 right here if you consider this to be wave 0 to 1 to 2. But I'm seeing this really prominent definition of a very low-key first impulse. So my guess here would be to see a few things happen with Woo. Obviously, we've got a very nice bull flagpole, and we are just seeing price rip up, and we're seeing it consolidate. And my guess is that we're going to see an A, B, C, D, E corrective wave come in and hit. And my guess would be that we're going to see this 50 moving average continue on. Okay, he says, no, it has 5 O's. Okay, so we might be looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, what I'm looking at, what he's talking about, is this Woo centralized trading exchange.
Woo.
And Woo is powered by it. But yeah, if that's what he said, this is something completely different.
Okay, interesting. Well, we're looking at the Woo token anyways. And
Yeah.
my guess is, end of the first week, going into the second week, you might see this thing bounce off the 50. We won't spend too much more time on this. So I don't know much about Woo, Jordan.
I think he's trolling us.
What's that? Yeah, he probably is. He's probably sitting there in his chair dressed up as Ric Flair, just screaming, "Woo, I got those guys."
Yeah.
ETH. Who all in the chat is holding ETH? Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about CKB, one of my loves of crypto. I would encourage everybody to check out Nervos Network CKB. It's this completely like grassroots driven crypto project that is doing some really incredible stuff. And they have really great developers and things like that working behind the scenes. So right now with CKB, I think like you could argue the fact that, hey, you know what, Airborne? Guess what? We might be seeing somewhat of a cup and handle. And for those of you guys, I've been covering CKB for a very long time. I've traveled around the world to meet people that are involved with CKB. Literally, I've traveled probably 20,000 miles around the world. And Scragaglow, we will speak on ICP in just a second here, but I do think like with CKB, we are seeing this very nice cup and handle. How many people we got in the live stream right now? Are we still sitting around a hundo?
Yep.
Hundo. So yeah, I think like CKB, is looking good right now, and we're seeing a little bit of a breakout here. But I'm thinking that we might just see a little consolidation sideways before this thing starts making its move up. Full disclosure, I've got a very fat bag of CKB. And actually, it was Airborne and we both discovered CKB, I believe it was February 21st, 2021, and we discovered CKB.
Yep.
And it was interesting.
On Voyager, which I don't
Voyager.
want to talk about. But
okay, yeah, we won't.
I made a TikTok about it because I was on TikTok first before YouTube.
Yeah, me too. That's kind of what I did too. So let's look at check out eGold. How many people are holding eGold? Airborne and I are. This thing's looking good. I was kind of speculating that we might see maybe a little bit of sideways trading action, and then I'll reach up to this $140, $50 level. I mean, right now, I'm kind of looking, and the one thing about this is that it's on a very shallow timeline, so I don't think the results are going to be too impacty. But I do feel like there is a little bit of a rising wedge here, and I do think that we could see price action. And I don't know why I didn't pick up on this last night, but I do feel like we'll just see price action, maybe kind of trade sideways, and then make that reach for that $150 level, which would be sick. Disclosure, I own eGold. So that thing's looking good. Let's pull up the ICP charts here for everybody. And then, like we said, we threw up these Gone fans here earlier in the night. And price action ripped. It's been respecting these Gone fan lines. And I do feel like ICP possibly could reach for this $14 level, maybe up to the $15, $16 level. It needs to break through this, folks. It needs to climb onto this next trend line, which is this 1 to 2. But what I was speculating earlier is that I'm hoping to see ICP rip up, create a bull pennant, and then I am hoping to see price action make the next move. We might see a bull flag happen here. This is speculative.
Was there anything about the moving averages you were talking about earlier? I don't know if you mentioned that. I might have missed it, about trying to have price action above one of the 50, 100, 200 moving average. I don't know if there's anything like that you look at too. Is it doing pretty good? Like,
Yeah.
it's above.
Yeah, and typically like on the weekly and daily charts, I like to pay attention to that, especially when it comes to like death crosses and golden crosses and things like that. Here is an example where ICP golden crossed. That's where price action moved upwards on the daily chart, and you can see that drew the 50 moving average up over this 200, and this is called a golden cross. Now, there's a lot of times people automatically will figure that, oh, a golden cross, that means good, it's made out of gold, right? And also, folks, death crosses can be bullish. And here's a prime example of a golden cross. Once this thing crossed, price moved to the downside. And then we ended up seeing all-time lows. So on this daily, it just depends. We're not really seeing much there. But like here's an example. Let's just see, find a better one. Here's an example. Golden cross right here. Price dumped. Here's a death cross. 50 moved over the 200. Price bounced. So I mean, it just it is things like that I do pay attention to. But right now we're sitting fairly decent. But I would like to, with ICP, see price action maybe catch up with this 50 moving average a little bit, come in for a rebase like it did down here. I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay, so Jordan Mack just sent me a DM, and we're just gonna pull that up. He says he thinks YouTube might be blocking URLs. Okay. So we're going to pull this up here.
But it's weird. You can't really...
Oh, look at this.
No way. No way. No way.
I love Ric Flair.
Dude, I love Ric Flair. I love WWF, WWE. I grew up watching that, man. I went to WrestleMania. Oh, we get a whole conversation of people, WWE, all that stuff if you want to get into it. But yeah, the man, the myth, the legend.
That's right, Airborne. Okay, so this is an ETH. This is an ETH token. So there's going to be 10 trillion. What was it? No, 10 million tokens. No, 10 billion tokens. I'm sorry. Fixed supply. Yeah. Okay, interesting. WooCoin. All right, so they've got about 1.7 mil worth of LP. I wonder where you can get this thing at. If this is on Uniswap or if you have to purchase it here. I'm not going to connect anything. But yeah, this is interesting.
Oh, I'm going to definitely look at it.
Yeah, I'm going to as well. I mean, everybody loves Ric Flair. I don't care. You look at this guy's hair. How do you not like Ric Flair and just that classical woo, Oh, it looks like they got a Twitter handle here. Okay. Nate. They got this directing back to Nate. So who knows if Ric Flair is actually the one behind this, or I doubt it, but you never know. This is definitely probably just a meme. Yeah. Nature, okay, official in quotes. So
when it comes to stuff like this, I like degen and being like making degen moves and whatnot, but I'd love to look at the data, get the ETH address, go to Etherscan. I want to see the holders. I want to see who holds the most supply. Is it like the top 10 holders hold, 40, 50, 60% of the supply? Tokenomics, if there are any, you know what I mean? But again, the first thing I look at is that ETH address or whatever address, look it up and see the top holders, because right then and there, it's either going to be a huge dump if there's like 10 people that hold most of the supply, but if not, and then you start reading into it, like you just got to do your own research. That's the thing I think people don't do nowadays, is just get to critically think and look into things. And definitely with that, like that's legit. Like I think they're trying to tailor more towards people around like our age who know who Ric Flair is, because I guarantee if you ask anyone under 25 or whatever, they probably don't even know who Ric Flair is.
That's true.
But
Legend.
yeah,
Absolute legend. My goodness.
but I'm definitely gonna look into that. Jordan Mack.
Yeah, thanks for the alpha on that, Jordan. Any parting thoughts, Airborne? I think we're just gonna hang this one up. Any words of wisdom that you would like to share and bless the cryptoverse with?
Yeah. So last bull run, I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. And if you've been following my channel or you're new, you definitely learn from your own mistakes. But you can't dwell on the past. You got to keep moving forward. And I think some of the top things that I've learned from the last bull run, and I got into crypto in like 2016. I was just into a couple different things. Actually, XRP, I think, Cardano and Bitcoin. My cousin got me into it, but I experienced Litecoin. So I got into Litecoin. I dropped a couple $100. I was in the military at the time, and it shot all the way up to like $400 or $345 or something like that. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Because at that time, I wasn't investing. I never started investing into anything until I was like 28 years old. So I'm a late investor. But I was like, holy crap, this crypto thing. So I got into crypto 2017, that bull run. And then I worked for Amazon. I made, what did I do? I had a bunch of stock money for Amazon.
You did very well. That's what you
did. I did very well. Let's just say I put all my stock money into Cardano and Bitcoin, and I made a lot of money. But that was the first time I've ever made so much money in such a short amount of time. And this was a time of all the exchanges that were all, FTX, Celsius, Voyager. And I was big into the Voyager community, Voyager, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up getting wrecked. Not totally wrecked, but you learn from your mistakes. And if it's one big piece of advice going into this next bull run that I could give to anyone or anyone listening is to not put all your eggs into one basket. Do your own research. Don't trust anybody. Keep all of your crypto off centralized exchanges. Use a non-custodial wallet that is secure, which nowadays is very hard to find, especially when you think of not Trezor, Ledger. There's all these things, hacks going on with that. But the biggest thing in this next bull run, I think, is going to be scams. There's going to be lots of different crazy things. AI scams going on. There's lots of ads that you're seeing nowadays with AI people like Michael Saylor, a lot of these big Charles Hoskinson. There's these pre-roll ads that all these newbies that are getting to the market that are going to get
fake stuff.
Yeah, they're going to get wrecked. Yeah. So as soon as you use a centralized exchange, in my opinion, not financial advice, buy your crypto on there, whatever, and then move it off to a non-custodial wallet that you trust. And you can take that with a grain of salt. It's the security, I think, the biggest thing, because you don't want to get your crypto locked up onto something and then have trust in whoever, especially a centralized exchange. So that's probably my biggest words of advice, again, is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't trust anybody. Do your own research. Don't keep your crypto on centralized exchanges.
Yeah, and to add to that, that's OG wisdom, folks. If you can, control all your own coins, keep them in a wallet. I understand that some people might need to keep them on an exchange, but I don't recommend it at all because of exactly what Airborne just said. The other plan, or the other thing that you need to do, is to have a plan. Execute your plan.
Exit plan.
Have an exit plan. And here's what I want you guys to do. Have an exit plan. Take your profits, folks, because guess what? There'll always be another bear market that you can buy in at. There'll always be another bull market that you'll make money in. But no bull market will last forever. And nothing has ever lasted forever in the financial markets.
Yeah, you're not really going to make any money until you click that sell button.
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing to do. And I actually did a video on that on my YouTube channel, on one of my playlists, of me taking profits on my Cardano coin, man. That was my largest holding. I was a Cardano millionaire at one point.
That's right.
And it ran up to like $3.10, I think was the all-time high. I bought in between 7 cents and 14 cents. I held a couple 100,000 Cardano. And then I kept thinking it was going to go up, but then I ended up cashing out majority of my bag into USDC. I cashed out around $1.81, I think.
That's right.
So
Okay.
I had a lot of capital gains, set enough money aside for taxes as well. That's the other big thing.
Yes.
But then I reinvested into VGX, which then we all know what happened from that. Got wrecked. But yeah, exit strategy, exit plan.
Yes.
When you start making these massive gains, it's not going to keep going up forever. You go into this, at least for me, for advice to new people, I'm just normal dude, man. I had all this money. It was just on my phone. Like if you look at your phone, it was just a number. I never bought anything. I did look at Lambo. I test drove a Lambo down in Sarasota because I was going to buy one just, when I was high. But it's crazy, man. It's a crazy thing. And I'm true and I'm real when it comes to this, but just have an exit plan.
Yeah, Airborne's story really reminds me of like a Wojak story. It's just crazy gains, crazy things happen, but you build yourself back up. And the biggest thing you can do is learn from, an OG like Airborne. That's why everybody needs to go and follow him. Nora Lou just says he subscribed to Airborne.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. He's been through it all. We've all been through it. A lot of fresh eyes on the crypto markets right now, and a lot of people out there. As far as you're always going to hear the straight and forward from us. Guarantee it 100%. We have nothing to hide. Even tonight, we've disclosed all our holdings as we've been talking. And a lot of influencers out there, they will conceal what they're holding and nonchalantly chill and try to get you to buy their bags. Use you as exit liquidity, things like that. So be careful who you're watching, especially going into the next bull market. Exchanges, if you start to hear funny things happening with exchanges like MEXC, just get out of it, okay? Right. Save yourself. If nothing happens, nothing happens. Maybe you can return to some capacity someday down the line.
Someone made a thing. I noticed in the screen that you guys see, it's crypto_airborne. Someone said it was like
my bad. Yes.
So you just made a mistake. If you guys do want to follow me, it's at crypto_airborne. And I guess
that is my mistake. I apologize. So that's my mistake. I forgot to put crypto_airborne under your tag. So I just kind of created this template on the fly. So that's
we're all getting used to this new stuff. However, we're going to stream the future. But like someone said just recently in the comments, the bull run really hasn't even begun.
Right.
And it's doing, and we're doing pretty good right now, with ICP and all these other coins. Just it's gonna get crazy, guys, and just have a plan. I'm just telling you based off experience.
Yeah, especially with this ETF stuff. The day that happens, that's gonna be all over the news. BlackRock, JP Morgan, they want all of retail's eyes on crypto. If you don't think that they have ads and stuff like that lined up.
Super Bowl ads.
Exactly. If you don't think that they don't have these ads lined up in the media pipeline, everything from print to frickin' television time, like they are you're about to see one of the biggest PR campaigns that you'll ever see.
The next year and a half, 2 years are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah, thanks guys for being here. We're 111 strong. Airborne, hang around the stream. I'm going to shill this sweet video. You guys got to follow this other dude as well. But this is a crazy video that I'm about to share with you. After the video is over, Airborne, I'm going to end the stream and pull you back into the lobby.
Okay.
So I love you all. Thanks for being here. Airborne, thanks for being here. I know this has been
appreciate you having on
a great Saturday. What is this today? Saturday?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
It's New Year's Eve tomorrow. All got to celebrate, guys. Have a great night with your friends, family, because 2024 is going to be freaking awesome.
That's right. All right. We're going to drop to the video here, guys. Happy New Year. Look for the video I'm about to drop tomorrow. Check out Airborne's channel. Enjoy this video I'm about to drop to you guys right now because it's the best video that I think that you'll ever hear or see. Woo! All right, so there's no audio here. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, so there's no audio here. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, so there's no audio here. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, so there's no audio here. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, so there's no audio. Bad guys. My bad. All right, so.